Well, it is the start of a brand new week. Happy Monday, everybody. June 15th, halfway through the month, Courtney. I'm Derek Shore here in Studio B. And Courtney, there you are at home. Like the headband.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's, I figured I want to bring out kind of the rainbow, the pride colors today.
Oh, very nice.
After this monumental Supreme Court ruling.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't see this coming. If you guys saw the news this morning, the special report, so Title VII talks about protecting people based on their sex, right? So essentially what the Supreme Court today said is for states like Texas, who felt it was okay to fire people just because they were gay and transgendered. The Supreme Court now says no. So no more do people have to worry about getting fired. And Texas was one of many states where that was still legal. And people were always shocked and continue to be shocked when we have these conversations. Like, someone can still be fired just because their boss might not like the fact that they're gay. So, we're making progress on the social justice front, and that's good news, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
Absolutely. I, in reading all of this and just kind of getting an understanding from where the cases stemmed from, there were 3 original plaintiffs and 2 died. There's only 1 living original plaintiff left. And he was quoted today. Gerald Bostock is the 1 living plaintiff left. And it's really interesting. He was fired in 2013. His job was a child welfare services coordinator, and he was fired after joining a gay softball league. So that's what stemmed all of this. And of course, the family members of the other 2 plaintiffs were fighting alongside him. But it's sad that the other 2 didn't live to see this day today. But the article and everything that's coming down on it and what each judge has said, of course, that ruling was 6-3. But it's really fascinating. It's an incredible read, and it's long, way long overdue. But what an incredible win.
Yeah, long overdue. And, there are still so many ways that, gay people can't donate blood. A lot of people don't know that. And I remember in California, there was something called Prop 8 a long time ago, about a dozen years ago. And that was the marriage bill that passed, essentially saying, no gay marriage. And it's so interesting, again, like as over the past few weeks, as we've been talking about equality and social justice, and we're talking about the George Floyd case and how some groups of people just seem to have like the deck stacked against them. There were several times, and even still today, when I hear people say things like, oh, these people, they want special rights. No special rights, just equal rights under the law. And people, every once in a while, I'll hear something during Pride Month, because of course June is Pride Month, and in Houston and many cities, the Pride celebrations have either been postponed and canceled. And sometimes I've heard people say things or post on Facebook things like, well, you don't see me out marching in the street. Why are these people out marching? And I'm just like, okay, again, like if you've never had a law written against you, or if you've never been singled out, then maybe you don't know what that feels like. It's not a great feeling, I can tell you that. And if you are part of the majority who, again, you've never had a law written against you, like you can get fired or you can't own property because of the color of your skin, well, that's great if you've never had to experience that. But just because something hasn't affected you personally and directly doesn't mean it's not a problem out there. And I think that especially, again, like we're having these really interesting conversations and we're talking about Black Lives Matter. You don't have to be a Black person to join that movement, right? In fact, I think we all should be advocating on behalf of each other. So I don't know. I hope a lot of people will think long and hard about the fact that, again, just because something doesn't directly affect you or you think it doesn't mean it's not a problem for a lot of other people.
Right, or it's not important when it's not happening in your world, right?
Yeah. Yep, it's true. Okay, well, let's shift gears after celebrating that big win today. And Courtney, I saw a lot of baseball pictures on your Instagram this weekend.
I know. We were back at it. Connor was back at it, and it felt great. There was lots of good safety measures in place, and of course, we were saying like the teams aren't, high-fiving and good game. But I want you to take a look at some of these pictures. Do you notice anything different at all about these these pictures? Notice anything?
No, I don't think so.
No?
But they're...
I'm putting you on the spot.
I mean, it's just a wide shot of... Oh, wait, the field is different.
Well,
okay,
well, the field is different. They played on two separate fields.
Are there circles painted? What am I seeing there? Different markings on the field?
No different markings, but there's no umpire behind the catcher.
Oh, of course. That's why it just seems like a wide open space.
Yes. So, and that is, of course, part of social distancing and COVID restrictions. You don't want these people, umpires, very close to one another. So, there were some interesting calls, to say the least. So there was an umpire behind the pitcher. Almost reminded me a lot of like T-ball or coach pitch or something. But the umpire behind the pitcher was actually calling ball, strike, whatever, and the umpire at the plate was off to the side. So it was very interesting, but I wanted to see if anybody picked up on that, because it just looked so different, right?
Yeah.
You just well, for me anyway, but it did look, why is he standing over there? Why isn't the umpire behind? Took me a second to figure out why, but
They just didn't want him breathing on anyone.
It was a great weekend for baseball, though.
So still an umpire, just in a different position. Well, the socially distancing that's been going on, right? A lot of businesses have had to get creative. Yeah. And, here at Houston Life, we are big fans of ROCO, the River Oaks Chamber Orchestra. And, so many of these artists and performers, they've had to cancel performances, cancel appearances. It's been very strange for anyone who makes a living in the arts over the past few months. So what they did is, starting this month in June, they launched something, Courtney, called the Ambassadors, and they're a brass quintet. And what they did was they caravanned, they jumped in these cars. I think we have some video somewhere to roll. They jumped in their cars, and they all stayed 6 feet apart, right? But they rolled through these neighborhoods to perform for people on their front lawns. And the reason they came up with this idea is so they could reconnect with some of their fans in a safe, socially distant way. And people brought out their lawn chairs and enjoyed some live music. Is this a great idea?
Word. I love it. I mean, we saw this, of course, a few weeks ago with the nursing home where they played a concert for them. Listen, we've talked about this and how wonderful and really how therapeutic music is during this time, and how it's uplifting and something like that. What a great idea. And they all loved it. Everybody was smiling. What a wonderful idea.
Such a treat for the neighbors. I want them to roll through my neighborhood and through your neighborhood. Or maybe next time they do this, I'll just sort of, I don't know, stalk them and follow them. So if you see a car that says ROCO on it, just follow that car, and you might be able to experience a live concert there.
What I need to do is get my zip code for ROCO and the bovine and barley adult drink truck.
Cocktail delivery truck.
If I can match that at the same time, I think we're on to something there. What do you think?
I was just chatting with my friend Nick in New York about the bovine and barley cocktail delivery truck, and when I explained to him that they just roll right up to your house and they've got their masks on and they hand you a cocktail, it is like a dream come true. I thought I was dreaming, and no, this is real life. One of the benefits of living in Houston. You know what I was thinking though, Courtney? I do have my trumpet from when I was in 4th grade in band.
Oh.
I mean, maybe...
Oh, I see where you're going.
Maybe we're not like ROCO quality. Plus, I have that guitar that I bought that I don't know how to play and hangs on the wall in one of the guest rooms. Oh. So maybe you could play the guitar.
Exactly.
And I could blow on that horn. And, I mean, that would be a magical treat. Why don't we do that?
That's like rainbows and unicorns right there. Seriously. And I play a mean triangle, let me just tell you.
Ooh,
you got to have a good triangle. Cowbell.
I have heard you are very talented on the triangle. So maybe one of these days, Courtney, you and I can do our own neighborhood performance. We need to figure this out. The question is, where do we start?
If only.
Where should we start? Should we go to Spring?
I don't know.
Friendswood, Baytown?
You know what? We should just pick a zip code out of a bowl. Have zip code, just kind of unfold, and that's just where we go. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
This could be a disaster, but also amazing. Kind of like my personality.
So good. At the same time.
Disastrously amazing. Kidding. Kidding. Dad
You're
jokes all around.
crazy.
Hey, speaking of dad jokes, you know, I've got a million of them. Oftentimes I just think of them on the spot. I don't know where this gift comes from. Father's Day is happening on Sunday.
Yes, absolutely, it is. And if you're planning and you're thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do, what I'm going to buy, oh my gosh, we've got this great article on our website too. Our producer Carlos put it together. And by the way, you guys know me. I love shop local. I want to support everybody here in town. I'm always telling you guys where to go, who has the deals. But this is the time really to pay it forward for our local business people. And Carlos put together a really great article for Father's Day. And one of the things that you really love, one of the places, is that your varsity jacket, one of the stores on there,
Yeah,
Derek?
so I follow this place called S Gents, just S, the letter S Gents. And a lot of people, I think it was last year, I was wearing that varsity jacket, my Astros varsity jacket. That's where I got it. I contacted the guy on Instagram, and they have an online store. I think business is doing really well for them, but it's one of the featured businesses, the local shops. They don't have a brick and mortar store as far as I understand, but they do have a ton of followers and really good stuff, from hats to jackets and shoes, so check them out. But that's just one of many. I think we have 9 local shops we're featuring on that article.
I think so.
You can visit our website, HoustonLife.tv. Also, if you're in the mood for some fresh juice, if you want to get Dad some fresh juice, stock up, because this weekend, Pressed Juicery, they will donate 100% of their sales to the NAACP. So they've got a new location in Rice Village. And again, these funds will go to the NAACP Houston chapter. It actually started last week, June 12th, and it goes through June 18th. So pay them a visit. They're open from 10 to 7. And again, as long as we're having this conversation about equality, it is great to know that so many of these businesses are jumping in to do their part as well.
I love that. And Pressed Juice is so good, too. So, again, shop local, have your money go to a good cause right in our own backyard. I love that. And they're open 7 days a week, too, which is always a bonus.
Very nice. Hey, so one of the things we did, you know, we like board games at our house this weekend.
Yeah.
And this weekend, we like them all times. Sorry, it's a Monday. Anyway. We like board games at our house this weekend. Yes, I think we will. So there's this game called Settlers of Catan, or Settlers of Catan. And years ago, have you heard of this game, Courtney? My brother-in-law, Nate, my sister Elizabeth's husband, he wanted to play this game during the holidays. I thought it was like a Utah thing, and this game took hours. I hated it. Well, here's the thing. I've really turned a corner. I love this game. And it turns out that 2 of our dear friends here in Houston, Joel and Mario, they love it as well. So when quarantine began, we were so frustrated because we couldn't play board games together, but we did a little socially distant board game night. We sat way across the table from one another. And while we were chatting about this, they just casually mentioned that this weekend might also be the end of the world based on the Mayan calendar. Have you heard of this?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Okay, I know we hear these rumors, like there was Y2K and then the Mayan calendar. I think a few years back, they were saying that the Mayan calendar showed that the world might end. My question was just, did they not make their calendar go past, you know, the year 2020 because they didn't think that the world would get that far? But, I mean, they obviously must have. They keep making their calendars, so I don't know. But I think it was an error, like the rest of us were misinterpreting the calendar that already was in existence. So rumor has it, to coincide with Father's Day, I have some notes about this. The world may actually end on Sunday. So the only thing missing from 2020 is the Mayan apocalypse. A scientist in Knoxville, Tennessee, Courtney, says the real date of the Mayan apocalypse was not a few years ago. It is this Sunday. So he's basing this off of the Julian calendar, which was the main calendar used at the time. The world switched to the Gregorian calendar in 1582. Right. So several days were lost, which is why people initially predicted the Mayan apocalypse to be back on December 21st of 2012. So that was almost 8 years ago, and maybe we had it all wrong. Maybe Sunday is it. And given the way things are going this year, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, hey, the only thing that's going to be left are like cockroaches and June bugs at this point. You know what I mean?
They're definitely going to survive.
Yeah, I know, right?
And probably possums at this point.
Oh, I love possums.
But didn't they say in 2012? I know. Didn't 2012 they said too? Oh no. No, we were mistaken. This in 2012. This is the real apocalypse. This is the end of time.
I don't know.
That's what they said last time.
I don't know. I guess I've never really paid that much attention to these doomsday theories because I don't know. I'm a little busy. I have things to do. I have dad jokes to tell,
I can't stop and prepare. I can't stop and prepare that Sunday might be the last day. I don't know.
Do you remember?
I say we just keep moving.
So in Y2K, this was 1999, and I know for a lot of our younger viewers, or even for our producer Kat, who just told me we have 90 seconds left. When was Kat born? Like 2011? I don't know. 2012? Oh, 96. She was born in 96. So she probably doesn't really remember Y2K, but for Kat, our producer, who was born in 96, 1999, as a refresher, people were losing their minds. They were pulling all of their money out of the bank, stocking up on cash,
stockpiling,
like making sure they had ammunition for the guns. Kat just said, "What's Y2K?" The year 2000, Kat. Did you see Jennifer Lopez's "Waiting for Tonight" music video? It's all based on Y2K,
Hello?
like the world ends. And remember, right at midnight in the J-Lo video, all the lights go off and the dance floor, everyone looks around like, oh man, is this it? And then the lights come on and then the lights come on and people move on and they realize it's all good. The computers didn't all die.
Yes, they did not.
But
no,
did you
it was sheer panic for like 6 months.
You were going to get locked out of your email or your bank account information would all be out there?
No, I didn't. I had to do stories on people freaking out and being worried, but I personally was not worried. I was working at Fox 13 at the time, in Salt Lake City.
Oh,
and
that's right.
I remember my big old giant computer at my desk, and I thought, well, I mean, if I get locked out, I get locked out. I mean, you know me, I don't answer email anyway. So.
And that's why I love you. We are the same person.
I know.
Yeah, I know. It happens. My mom had stockpiled. I mean, always growing up, we had a year food supply for every person in our house. So my mom's basement is like a 7-Eleven, right? Or practically like a Walmart food section. Yeah, all that food is rotten. It's a lot to keep up with. That was kind of a waste, but we were prepared.
Are you
just in
stockpiling
case.
For Sunday?
Actually, thank you. Yes, we do need to visit the Costco and stock up on rosé. Okay, well,
100%.
So I know it's been a strange few months, right? Everyone is experiencing work in a new way, school in a new way. And today, I am so excited. We're going to feature a local couple. They did something really cool. They created this free kids YouTube show. Their names are Sam Robles and Ashley Sargent. I hope I said Robles, the last name, correctly. So what they did is they created the show to entertain and teach kids while at home during the pandemic. It's called Nova Knows. Look how cute and colorful this is. It's all about helping children with their distance learning, ages 3 to 7 years old. And oh my gosh, it looks like a lot of fun. We're going to learn more about it.
Oh, cute and cuddly. I love it. But first, keeping your kid athletes safe, we're going to chat with an expert from Memorial Hermann Ironman Sports Medicine Institute. That's coming up next. Well, welcome back. Playing sports is a great way to keep your kids moving, but there may be some risks that you might not know about.
Orthopedic surgeon with Memorial Hermann Ironman Sports Medicine Institute, Dr. Bonnie Gregory, is joining us now with ways we can all prevent common youth sports injuries. Dr. Gregory, it's great to see you. Welcome to the show. And let's start just with a number. So I understand there are 35 million youth athletes participating in these sports around the calendar every year. That translates, I'm guessing, also, doctor, into a lot of injuries.
Absolutely. About 800,000 a year show up in the emergency rooms across the U.S., all related to sports injuries.
It's really incredible when you break it down to that particular number. Of course, you know, my kids are baseball players. I've got kind of a extreme sports kid that likes BMXing and skateboarding. But all of these athletes, whether they are on a field, softball, baseball, gymnastics, do you think that there should be some sort of mobility or stretching taught to our kids to help them kind of prepare or maybe avoid an injury?
Absolutely. So, in my opinion, not only a mobility routine, but a strength and conditioning routine throughout the off season as well as during the season can help avoid many of both the overuse injuries and the acute traumatic injuries that our young kids suffer in the sports season. Of course, your BMXers and your more extreme sport athletes, some of those falls can't be avoided, but a lot of our more organized sports participants, a lot of what we can do in the off season to increase their strength and make sure they're maintaining mobility as they grow and as their bones kind of lengthen quicker than their muscles and tendons can absolutely help minimize some of these injuries.
You know, it's so interesting that we're chatting about what to do during the off season, because I feel like, Dr. Gregory, a lot of parents may think like, okay, you know, the season's starting, now's really the time to focus on it. But let me just be sure I'm understanding. So there's actually a spike in these injuries after the off season, right? Due to like just the inactivity.
Exactly. So there are kind of two main times that we see these overuse injuries. One is at the beginning of the season, actually, because not all of our athletes have spent the off season getting stronger or staying fit, or kind of near the end of the season after they've been playing for a prolonged time and have kind of worn out the muscles, tendons, ligaments. So there's kind of two areas, and we're kind of approaching that first area after this prolonged COVID off season, if you will.
You know, and I think it's really important too, sometimes if parents say, oh, well, my child is not, you know, is too young for this type of strength and conditioning, or what are we talking age-wise? So whether you're playing t-ball or you're, you know, 7, 8, or 9, as opposed to like somebody in high school age, should all of those ages be age appropriate as far as those strength and conditioning and mobility?
That's a great question. So for our very young athletes, so our, you know, kids in elementary school, most of what we're doing is trying to keep them engaged in sporting activities by making it fun. So it's a lot of more body weight activities or kind of teaching the foundations for how to do some stretching and strengthening while maintaining a fun atmosphere. Of course, for our more serious adolescent and high school athletes, they are often on school teams as well as club teams, and they do see a lot more of a traditional strength and conditioning program using weights and things like that. But the sooner that we can engage our athletes into foundational strengthening and stretching programs, the better.
Dr. Gregory, let's talk about what happens if there is an injury, right? No one wants to hear news of their child being injured on the field, but why go see a sports medicine surgeon? Because for some parents, they may freak out just the word surgery, but there are also a lot of ways you can get an athlete healed and back on the field without surgery.
Totally. And so as a sports medicine surgeon, obviously surgery is what I love to do, but that's just one tool in my toolbox. You know, thankfully, based on the fact that we're collaborating with Ironman Sports Med Institute, we also have physical therapists, nutritionists, athletic trainers, strength and conditioning coaches who can all help us treat our athletes in a more holistic way. Additionally, the benefit of coming to see a sports medicine specialist right out of the gate is that we don't have any delay in diagnosis, and we're not at risk of making something that could have been treated non-operatively at first into an operative problem by not managing it appropriately out of the gate.
That's such a great point too. Let's talk about the Game Ready series. This is really fantastic, and it's something that y'all are doing on Facebook?
Yeah, so Game Ready came out of kind of some of my more at home time in this pandemic. So I was thinking how much I enjoy engaging with my athletes in training rooms and the community through different talks, but we don't have those normal venues right now. So I collaborated with other orthopedic surgeons in my group, as well as primary care sports, nutrition, sports psychology, to come up with this series featuring experts from all over the city every Tuesday and Thursday night. So geared at athletes, parents, athletic trainers and coaches for returning to sport safely and avoiding some of these injuries that we're talking about.
Well, Dr. Bonnie Gregory, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for helping to keep our young athletes safe. And in the meantime, if you would like more info, you can call 713-222-2273, or you can visit ironman.memorialhermann.org. Doctor, thanks again.
Thanks, Joel.
We'll be right back.
Well, welcome back to the show. This is our favorite time. We get to highlight our student artist of the day for our HL artwork. And y'all, I mean, this one completely blew my mind. This is all about working from home. And can you believe this was done by rising 7th grader Sweet Finley? I mean, look at the detail on this. The HL, even in the coffee, says your little like latte HL.
Yeah.
But isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it almost looks three-dimensional, like the little tape dispenser in the top left corner.
Yeah.
And the stapler down there near the right. My goodness, that is fantastic.
And the lunch, the sandwich at top. I know, Finley, you did such a great job. Thank you so much. I love it. The sandwich, there's an eraser. I mean, it's just the cutest. It's so well done. And this is taking working from home, schooling from home to a whole new level. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll see Finley's work, you know, hanging in a local art gallery. Nicely done. Very, very talented there. Still ahead on Houston Life, summer pool maintenance, from things to watch out for to new federal pool pump regulations. Find out what you need to know right after this.
Well, welcome back to the show. If you have a pool at home during times of social distancing, you're aware that your backyard oasis, let's be honest, is a total lifesaver. And that's why it's so important to, of course, take good care of it.
And important that you invite me over as well. Joining us to share helpful maintenance tips and new regulations that pool owners need to know about, Gregory Balderas with Manning Pool Service. Gregory, it is great to see you, my friend. I know you guys are busy during this time. And let's just chat about those existing pools out there. You say circulation is key to keeping your water clean and healthy.
Yes, yeah, no, absolutely. Circulation at this time of the year is very important. Summer season is algae season. We want to make sure that we're giving our pools a fighting chance by maintaining our filters. Important to clean our filters about every 4 to 6 months. Another thing is going to be the evaporation that we're going to see during the summertime. Pool owners can expect to see upwards of 2 inches of water loss on a daily basis.
Oh, wow.
Turning off our water fountains, water features, water slides, anything that causes splashing in the pool. It's going to be pretty bad this time of year. We want to make sure that we keep our water levels right where they should be.
Well, those are all really great tips. Let's talk about how Manning, basically you've responded during this time, during quarantine. And of course, now we're starting to reopen businesses, but y'all are considered essential business.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We are considered an essential business. We are tasked with keeping bodies of water safe. At this time when Houstonians are being asked to go to school and work from home, we are turned to provide a safe place for recreation. We're also doing a professional healthcare give back program. For every work order closed this summer, we are donating 1 pizza to the Greater Heights Memorial Hermann Hospital. At this time, we were just over 100 pizzas.
That is fantastic. Very nice, Gregory.
That's great.
Let's talk about just saving money and pool maintenance in general, because I don't own a pool, but for people who do, I know that it can be an issue. If something goes wrong, you have suddenly this costly repair that can be a nightmare for a lot of folks. But by maintaining your pool and by having you guys come out and service it, people save money in the long run because they can avoid those surprise repairs.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Aside from improper chemistry balance, water level issues, any type of pool pump repair, pool pump replacement is going to generally be pretty costly. One of the things that we're kind of moving into is going to be the variable speed pumps. Not only are they made to shut off if the water level turns low, or if there's any sort of obstruction in the lines, these pumps will turn themselves off to prevent any damage to them, as well as to save lives with the SVRS safety vacuum release systems. And because they're variable speed pumps, we are able to drop our energy costs down quite a bit. most pool owners expect to see up to 90% or up to $1,500 a year in savings.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, that's significant when you put in the $1,500 a year savings when you're talking about basically the certified pumps with variable speed technology. Let's talk about some upcoming federal pump regulations. Break this down for us, would you please, Gregory?
Right. So the state of Texas, along with the Department of Energy, are releasing a new regulation starting summer 2021. Basically, any single-speed pump, 1 horsepower or greater, at the end of its lifespan will have to be replaced with a variable-speed pump. There's so many pools and so many pumps out in the city of Houston right now that the only way to safely have that many pumps without just an immense amount of energy consumption is to drop down to variable-speed pumps, which is where the savings come through because we're able to run these pumps at a lower speed for a longer period of time.
And is it true, Gregory, that an estimated 80% of existing pumps, the pumps that are currently installed, they don't meet those minimum standards? So essentially, most people with a pool are not going to be meeting this new standard.
Right. Most people at this time, unless your pool is only a year or two old, you generally won't see a variable speed pump on any pool equipment.
So those pumps will need to be replaced.
Yes, those pumps will need to get replaced at the end of the lifespan because we will be losing any parts for a single-speed pump as of 2021. They just won't be manufactured anymore.
Gotcha. So that's maybe the not so great news for people, but the good news is that you can come out and you can hook them up, install this new variable speed system. They can save a bunch of money over the life of that pump because they're going to be saving, as you just pointed out, the energy costs. And right now, Gregory, people can get $350 off.
Right. So Manning Pool Service is offering a special. We are doing over $350 off of the variable speed pumps, as well as, I don't know if any of the Houston Live viewers saw our last segment, we're still offering our spring special, which was $500 or over $500 off of our Easy Touch 8 system. And of course, as always, any Houston Live viewers that call our office to speak to any of our wonderful CSR personnel, they mentioned Houston Life, we will give them an additional discount.
That is awesome. The magic words, Houston Life. Gregory Balderas with Manning Pool Service. Thank you so much for the info today, and thanks for keeping our pools clean. And seriously, if you have a pool, people, invite me over. I'll bring cocktails. Gregory, thank you so much, bud. A reminder,
Thanks,
if you would
Gregory.
like more information, you can call 713-812-9098, or you can log on to their website, manningpoolservice.com.
And coming up next, how one local couple is helping to entertain and teach kids while at home during the pandemic. Lauren Kelly chats with the Houstonian behind the educational kids show, Nova Knows, right after the break. Well, welcome back. You know, after Houstonian Sam Robles lost his job during the COVID-19 pandemic, he wasted no time moving on to his next big project. He used his skills as a video producer and his girlfriend Ashley's knowledge of being a pre-K teacher to create the fun and educational kids show, Nova Knows.
The show is free on YouTube, and its overall message is to convey to kids that they can be anything they want when they grow up. Lauren Kelly and Sam Robles have more.
So by now, parents who have been teaching their children are kind of at their rope's end, you know, with somebody help me out. I don't know if I can be a teacher anymore. And Sam Robles has done just that. He has come up with the wonderful idea of Nova Knows. And I'm so glad that you are introducing Houston to this wonderful character that you've created.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it's been a pretty fun journey so far. We started back in March, and the idea was mainly to help that are having to pull their kids from daycare centers and pre-Ks and give them something that's actually educational and free on YouTube.
Mix.
Whoa!
Wow, look at that.
Oh no, I think I need to take my spoon out first.
I've got 3 younger sisters who have kids under 6, and they are just like, I need help with this teaching thing. You know, they get the curriculum from the teachers, but they just need an extra little bit of help. And I think that this educational program is really a great thing. Nova is actually behind you. That's the character we're talking about. So why don't you tell everybody how you came up with with her?
Yeah, I just sketched up Nova and figured out the colors. I wanted her to kind of look like cotton candy, kind of. Something very friendly for kids to, relate to and be a friend of Nova. And then I commissioned a company from London to actually make the puppet itself, and they were able to turn it around very, very quickly for us.
Sam, you've got a little bit of background in editing video and things like that on the production side, but you're also working with Ashley Sargent, and she's a pre-K teacher. So you've got that great combination of video editing and the actual educational part for this program as well.
Yeah, that's right. My girlfriend, Ashley Sargent, she's a pre-K teacher, and she helped me come up with the curriculum that we can actually base something off of, so we're not just coming up with these random subjects. We're actually following a curriculum that coincides with pre-K curriculums in Houston.
Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what each episode entails, like the topics you cover and the things you chat about?
Yeah, so we cover all subjects that you would learn in pre-K, like counting, numbers, letters, some spelling. A lot of our episodes are also revolved around the theme of space, because we are in Houston. We covered the rocket launch from SpaceX recently. It goes from all over. It covers animals, wild animals, farm animals. You can see that's what we're going to shoot next.
Helping with distance learning is really helping parents, throughout the entire pandemic, because a lot of those people can't go to camp still, and they're still kind of finishing up their courses. So Nova Knows is really helpful.
Right, yeah, and the idea is hopefully schools will reopen back when the school year begins, and if something like that does change, or for other states that may not be the same concern, this will be here, as a source for parents to continue their education.
The show is on YouTube. When can people watch? When is there new episodes?
Yeah, so we upload a new episode every Friday. Every Friday there's a new segment, whether it's counting letters, numbers, sing-alongs, things like that. And the idea is once we get enough segments, we'll actually release entire full-length 48-minute episodes.
Part of this journey is you are taking pledges and donations on your website to make sure that the program keeps going. How can people interact with you?
Obviously, we're doing all this for free, and we need everyone's help to keep doing this. We set up a Patreon page, patreon.com/Nova Knows, and their parents can pledge to us and help us keep making more and more episodes.
I think it's wonderful. So Sam Robles of Nova Knows, are you the voice behind her? Shh, I won't tell.
Yes, I am. I am the voice.
Parents all over the city and the country hopefully will watch this show, and thank you. I think it's great. And if you guys want to pledge to make sure that Nova Knows continues with these fun and educational episodes, you can do so. HoustonLife.tv is where I'll put a link up for it. What ages is Nova Knows appropriate for?
It's for 3 to 7. 3 to 7. We're trying to get kids ready for kindergarten.
Okay. Well, I, at 38, might just tune in and raise that bar just
Right.
Nova Knows, catch it on YouTube. Sam Robles and Ashley Sargent, who are in charge of this wonderful educational program. Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I love it. What a great job. Nova Knows is so cute, and what a creative idea. Thanks, Lauren.
I just want to give Nova a little hug. So fluffy. All right, we'll be right back.
I know.
I think we're back on the air now.
Well, welcome back. Sorry, not hearing anything. If you tried a number of diet plans and workouts are still struggling to lose the weight, it might be time to try a new approach.
Working from home, I know, has its challenges. You look great, Courtney. Innovative Lasers of Houston CEO Laura Alexis promises to help you lose the extra weight fast. She joins us now along with one of her patients, Stacy Jackson. Welcome to the show, ladies. And Laura, before we hear from you, Stacy, let's get to know you and your story. I understand you lost 15 pounds, 13 inches. How long did it take you to get there, and how many sessions did you do?
8 treatments.
8 treatments. And how does that feel? I mean, because I know we hear from so many people who have struggled to lose weight that it's something that they maybe deal with for years, even decades. What made you finally decide you wanted to call Laura?
Because I can't take any supplements or anything, because I have like a really low tolerance, and I tried working out and everything for a long time, and I just needed like a really good jump start. So I came in here and did a consultation and decided to sign up, and I plan on coming back for a lot more treatments.
It's really incredible. You've lost 15 pounds, 13 inches in 8 sessions. Your before and afters there on the screen. What's really incredible, Stacey, what I want to say is that you actually completed your sessions before quarantine, and hats off to you that you've been able to keep the weight off during this time when a lot of us have found it.
Yes, and that's why I decided to sign up for more, because since I didn't gain it back, then I knew that it worked. So that's when I decided I wanted to come back and just see how much more I can lose.
And Laura, chat to us about the laser that you have in your hands right there. I know it's a very large machine, but talk to us how the laser actually hits your skin, penetrates it, and helps you eliminate the fat.
Absolutely. So one of the key ingredients that we use, Derek, is the use of the Zerona laser, which is amazing because it's FDA approved and it offers no downtime, no swelling, no bruising, no pain, no heat, no cold. So patients virtually feel nothing at all undergoing this treatment. Typically, our patients will lose half a pound to a pound per visit, typically 3 to 11 inches every 2 weeks. So that's what makes it fun and motivating. Patients will come in and see those instant results. So if that's not motivation for you, I don't know what is.
Right, exactly. But I feel like a lot of people say, too good to be true. This is not, we're not feeling anything, no pain, no gain, right? So walk us through how this laser basically works, Laura.
So the science behind it, what you're seeing on screen right now is a microscopic image of what happens undergoing treatment. At the very top, you will see the fat cell is plump. Now, before a 20-minute session is done, as you can see on the very bottom, the fat cell has already collapsed. And that's what happens undergoing treatment. The fat cell collapsed, the contents of the fat cell naturally seep out through bodily fluids such as urine and sweat. When that happens, the results are immediate, resulting in inch loss.
And Laura, some people might be wondering, okay, I understand the basic idea of how this works, but they might wonder how many sessions they're going to need in order to start seeing results.
So based on the patient's goals and target areas, we'll determine how many sessions to prescribe for them. So as I mentioned before, it's half a pound to a pound per visit, 3 to 11 inches every 2 weeks. So based on the patient's goals and target areas, we'll determine how many to prescribe for them. We do offer a free consultation with no obligation whatsoever. And this way, it's a customized program specifically right just for them.
And that's really important because I think when a lot of people are making that phone call, Laura, and they're calling, they're desperate. They want the weight off. They want someone to listen to them and walk them through it. And that basically is what is separating Innovative Lasers of Houston from the other weight loss clinics out there.
That's right. We hand select our staff. So our staff has that in mind. We treat you like family, not like a number. And that makes a huge difference, Derek. And I mean, it makes a huge difference when somebody embraces our patients the way we do. I mean, we have our live coaches here. We have the technology behind us. It's a win-win for everybody.
Laura,
and this procedure is good for anybody that does not have time to go to the gym or have some type of medical condition that keeps them from working out, because literally all you do is just lay down. The laser does everything for you.
And Laura, before we go, because we are tight on time, what's the special offer today?
So typically our transformation package is $2,400. However, for callers now, it's over half off at $1,000. And if you're one of the first 100 callers, you mentioned Houston Live, we'll even throw in an additional 3 sessions for free. And that number to call is 281-888-3094. We have operators standing by right now.
And don't forget, there's also treatment centers all across the city: Galleria, Spring, Clear Lake, Katy, Sugarland. Also, you've expanded to Dallas as well. Stacey Jackson, thanks so much for joining us today and sharing your weight loss story. And Laura Alexis with Innovative Lasers of Houston, it's always great to see you. We appreciate you through Zoom doing this. And by the way, I know we mentioned the number before, but if you'd like to schedule your free consultation, you can do so by calling 281-888-3094 or simply go online to their website, innovativelasersofhouston.com. Ladies, thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
And Houston Life will be right back.
Well, before we go today, we want to remind you about the KPRC2 Summer Blood Drive happening now at the Gulf Coast Regional Blood Center. Here's a look at where you can donate today in Houston, Richmond, and Katy. Remember, there's a critical need for blood donations in our community, and your donation could help save 3 lives. For more information, including how to sign up for an appointment, you can log on to click2houston.com/blood-drive.
Very nice. And Courtney, you remember the show The Biggest Loser, right? Well, it is back, better than ever. And they are casting for an all-new season of the show. And get this, folks, producers are looking for Houstonians to be on the show. Because of the pandemic, producers will be meeting with potential contestants remotely. And casting producer Holland Weathers will tell us tomorrow just what they're looking for.
Ooh, can't wait for that. I love, love, love that show. Also, we are going to be introduced to Skylar Herrera, a track athlete. She's actually a Richmond High School student, and she's using her platform as a track athlete to advocate for people with disabilities. I can't wait for that conversation.
Oh my gosh, that will be fantastic. A long overdue conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, well, take a deep breath, everyone. It is Monday, and we can get through this week together, okay? Just say that to yourself.
Absolutely.
Deep breaths, we can do it. Courtney, I'll see you soon. I miss having you here in studio.
See you soon.
Okay, see you guys
Bye,
tomorrow. Bye-bye.